I knew the girl would never give up her child. I knew before I asked. This is the sort of deal you only make if you're young and naive and facing execution. And the idea of a child is so very far away that it is an easy thing to give up. But I asked her anyway, knowing that she would say yes, then say no later. How she wept when I came to collect. Oh, the tears that fell over that poor sweet babe. How she begged and pleaded that I spare him, that I release him from her promise. I thought the guessing game was a nice touch. It kept her busy for a few days and gave her hope. And all the while I was working, I baked and cleaned, made sure the Queen's messenger overheard me sing the naming song in the dark woods. She was so proud when she guessed that name, the triumph in her voice, the relief in her eyes. I put on a show for her, and she ate it like it was a porridge that was just the right temperature. How! I screamed. How did you guess that name? I'd stomp and rip and shouted. I believe there was a spill, and I'm certain my first storm dread. And then I left. I went to my clean cottage that smelled of the fresh bread, and I waited. The child was not yet walking by the time the whole kingdom knew of the twisted man in the deep woods, and the clever queen who smarted him. The young princeling heard the story at his mother's knee and saw the daily, the huge rent in the floor where I stomped my foot in rage. Servant and peasant watched him pass and whisper about the boy who had been saved. At first, it was enough that the story was about him, that it ended happily. He enjoyed the attention as any child would. He would demand to hear the story, and when his mother reached the end of the guessing game, the prince would yell out, "Rumpelstiltskin!" With her, I heard them in the forest home and smiled. Because soon he began to wonder. "Why, Mama?" he asked. "Why did the strange little man want me?" And the queen had no answer. The older he grew, the more it ate him. Why had I asked for him? I could have treasure, powers, half of the kingdom. Had I desired it, why I wanted the baby. The princeling was handsome enough of a child, but his curiosity kept him inside, scaring ancient and stark tombs when he should have been learning sword play and horsemanship. The riddle of his importance drove him to long conference with grizzled soothsayer and dreary mystics, and the old witches who rake up the bush they brew. I believe he would have been good king had not the mystery grounded him until he was snared in mind and body. As the Asian he communed with daily, he was passed over with his mother, and father chose an heir. But by then he didn't care. Not the curious young prince. 20 years had gone, and he had no more answer than when his bright-eyed baby. He put his mind to a new pursuit. It is finding me. He rode away one fogging gray morning with his mother's wept, for she knew she would never see him again. I think she finally realized the truth. I had taken her child after all. He found me. I led him. He stood in my little cottage, as twisted, ugly as I, dripping swamp on my floor, and he asked his question, "Why? Why?" Consider this your first lesson, I said. Any common thug can take what they want. The pleasure is in getting the prey to come to you. His eyes gleamed as he saw in my words the promise of power, of knowledge, of the joy of the chase. And I had him. He was mine.